Does that not bring back... I really... Does anyone read the room anymore?
But I mean, Daniel Andrews, remember, he years ago negotiated in secret the Belt and Road Initiative to essentially hand over Victorian assets in return for money to the Chinese Communist Party. And even the Labor federal government realised how terrible this was and undid it. Now, I mean, questions have to be asked. Just how close is his relationship with the Chinese government?
Now, remember the secret trip that we couldn't report on? The secret,
right.
the missing 7 or 10 days where, where's the Premier? Oh, he's attending to business in sports. St Kilda's off-season. Or St Kilda's loading up. They've Jack Silvani down there for a physical at Moorabbin. The Saints have already secured Tom de Koning. They're in the giant for Lek, Aaliyah and son Sam Flanders. They are loading up.
The rumour is that, their list manager, who's ex-Carlton player Stephen Silvani is so angry at Carlton, he's not trying to make St Kilda succeed. He just wants Carlton to fail. He'll pay whatever it takes to poach players from Carlton. And I might add, back in the late 70s and early 80s, this has happened before. Alex Jesselinko went there, Warren Jones, I think Alex Marcoux. Didn't do anything for the St Kilda Football Club. Just saying. 103693 mornings at 3aw.com.au. Do we really need to regulate takeaway food? I heard Ross and Russ talking about this morning, and I want to have my say in a moment. More of your calls as well at 25 to 10.
If you've been injured at work, you should seek legal advice. For advice on all your compensation entitlements, which could be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, call Arnold Thomas and Becker Lawyers. And if you don't win, there's no fee.
Want to see your new kitchen, bathroom and laundry plans in 3D for free?
Just go to Ascot.
Just bring in your measurements and we'll bring your new room to life.
Just go to Ascot.
We will specify the products, help with the design, and even recommend the builder to complete your bathroom, kitchen or laundry.
Just go to Ascot.
Ascot bathrooms, kitchens, laundries and more. Everything under one roof for your next project. 18 Canterbury Road, Heathmont. AscotBathroomwear.com.au. Now that you're retired, travel should be the top of your list instead of prioritising other things. That's why Heartland Bank's reverse mortgage offers over 55s a smart way to unlock the equity in their home, so you can have the financial freedom to take that trip you've always dreamed about. Get ready to travel and come back to the home you love. Search Heartland Bank, Australia's leading reverse mortgage provider, for details. Eligibility criteria and terms and conditions apply.
The superpower I'd love for a day is to fly.
If I could have a superpower for a day, it would be to time travel, so I could go back and see how life was when my parents were young and stuff like that.
Be mind reading. It's always good to know what other people are thinking.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, their superpower is always providing compassionate care to families at their absolute time of need. Get to know the team at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
9 Radio is currently playing content that cannot be played on our online streams. Normal programming will resume shortly. To check out the latest 9 Radio content, head to 2GB, 4BC, 3AW or 6PR online and click on the Audio tab. There you'll find full show podcasts from Australia's best radio broadcasters, plus daily highlights and interviews to stream or download.
Blinds massive once-a-year buy one get one free sale is on now on blinds, shutters, awnings, security and curtains. That's buy one get one free. Plantation shutters, aluminium shutters, Venetians and roller blinds. Buy one get one free. Curtains and fabric awnings, and buy one get one free on our Secure Force range of security doors and screens. Get double the value right now at New Blinds. Hurry, don't miss out. Book your free measuring quote today. Newblinds.com.au. Conditions apply.
With the Domain app, you can shortlist properties with whoever you're in the property market with. So you don't need to present your findings at the dinner table every night. Or worry about why they haven't replied to that property link you sent them. Or whether or not you actually like the same properties. Or if you even like each other. In fact, it might single-handedly save your relationship. Shortlist properties together. Download the Domain app and know what we know.
Gift a winner this Father's Day at Chemist Warehouse. Grab Versace Dylan Blue 100ml, only $99.99. Don't pay $168. Or Parker Urban Phantom 50ml, just $89.99. Don't pay $180. Chemist Warehouse. Great savings every day.
You're listening to Mornings on 3AW. Got to Google 100% no digging guarantee from the Drain Man. Call us, we'll fix it fast. 1-800-THE-DRAIN-MAN.
Take away food in a moment. First, emails. Barbara says, regarding all these overseas junkets, why doesn't the Premier practice what she preaches? And Barbara refers to working from home. So, yes, I mean, Jacinda Allen says it should be a human right for people to do their work from home. Instead of travelling to China with 4 backbenchers, all of whom have a high number of Chinese Australian voters in their electorates, couldn't she just do these meetings via Zoom? And that's a good point, Barbara. And Lee points out that, Jacinda Allen taking off during this critical manhunt is wrong. Now, remember, it was, God, how many years ago now? 5.5 years ago, Scott Morrison was criticised for staying on a family holiday in Hawaii when the bushfire crisis erupted in southeastern Australia. Now, this is not very different. Now is not the time for the Premier to be going overseas while the poor punker gunmen are still on the loose. And Simon says Susan Lee did not answer my question about her colleagues going on the NDIS junket. And I'm sorry when I say junket here, we've got the Lord Mayor, who says his trip is not a junket. Up to 10, I thought it was 5, it's actually up to 10 NDIS politicians, Labor, Liberal and even a couple of Greens, going to the UK and Sweden to look at how to save money on the NDIS. And Jacinda Allen, she's taking 5 colleagues, 4 of whom are backbenchers, on a trip to China. Now, the reason politicians are backbenchers is basically because they're considered too young or too inexperienced to be given ministerial responsibilities. So if you have a serious deal to be negotiated, let's just say there is a serious trade deal to be negotiated between Victoria and whatever Chinese interest, you don't bring backbenchers along to help do it. You bring ministers. And why Jacinda Allen would need not 1 but 4 backbenchers? It is purely to curry favour in seats right here in Victoria that have a high number of Chinese Australian voters. That's it, and we're paying for it. Robert, good morning.
Hi, how you doing?
Yeah, not bad, thank you.
I don't have a comment about a particular issue, but you did mention earlier that Susan Lee, the question about what is the Liberal Party going to do to change their image or have a point of differentiation. And I strongly believe, and just some background, I run a company that's got, several hundred people, is the heart of something operating correctly is your value set. Right? And I think that any party that wants to rebuild their brand needs to start with the value set of what they stand for.
Yes, I agree. Rather than just grabbing at individual policies, you do have to start, you're right, with the basic building blocks. We are the Liberal Party. We believe in small government and free enterprise and individuals taking responsibility for their own lives, and then you build out your policies from there. Look, I agree, Robert, and the Libs are at that review phase, but they've still got to be the opposition leader and work out often on the fly about what they think about things the government is doing. But yes, if Susan Lee or maybe a future Liberal leader is ever going to have a chance at beating or winning an election, they've got to go back to basics and be clear, what do we stand for and how is it different from the other mob? Okay, well, this is interesting we talk about this because I'm a big believer in freedom of choice, but with freedom of choice comes responsibility for your decisions. So if you go to the bottle shop and drink too much, that's not the bottle shop's fault, that's your fault. If you make poor decisions in life with relationships, for example, no one else's fault, it's yours. If you eat too much junk food and become unhealthy, you might become pre-diabetic or diabetic, you could be grossly overweight. Not everybody who eats junk food is like that, but it's well known that it can lead to that. Well, that's not society's fault, in my view. That is your fault. There is a proposal to block fast food chains, and Ross and Russell were talking about this earlier, from areas that already have a lot of fast food. Now, it just seems to me no one herds you in at the point of a gun to, a fast food chain. It's up to you to decide to go there. And as Ross Stevenson pointed out this morning, I mean, every supermarket has healthy food. It has fresh fruit, vegetables, meat, that sort of thing. You can go and buy that stuff and make yourself a healthy meal, or you can go the easier and quicker option and buy unhealthy fast food. Our next guest is an accredited practicing dietitian, Chief Health Officer of Healthy Life, Simone Austin. Good morning.
Good morning, Tom.
What do you think? Do you think we should sort of stop some fast food chains or just leave it up to the individual, or what?
I'm going to respectfully disagree with your comments earlier, Tom. I agree that we do have some choice and responsibility. However, if you're being flooded with unhealthy food options and they're the easier one, then it's not really a choice that you're making in a lot of ways. You're being marketed to and you're being directed to very much purchase those foods. There's research and good data to show that we need supportive environments if we want to be healthy as a nation. And what do I mean by supportive environments? It means that the healthier option needs to be the easier one. So you shouldn't need to drive past 5 unhealthy fast food outlets to find one that isn't. And often that's what's happening. And we did our Living Healthier report last year and focused on kids' health. And it actually predicted that kids born in 2023 are likely to have a shorter life expectancy than their parents, mainly due to an unhealthy diet. So we have to do something with our environment to make it easier for people to eat healthy.
But you sort of act like people are just, not capable of making decisions or will only make bad ones. But I will point out, for example, at the footy here in Melbourne a few years ago, both the MCG and Marvel Stadium decided to offer more healthy options, and suddenly there was sushi and fresh sandwiches and whatever. No one bought them. People just want pies and chips and hot dogs when they go to the football. So people had a choice and they made their choice, and by and large it wasn't the healthy choice.
So I think something like an event such as the football might be a different scenario, because that might be once a month, once every few weeks. We maybe associate those foods with the football. But if you're talking about the environment someone lives in and driving past regularly, then that might start to become a regular food and an everyday food. So that's quite different. But even when you're talking about supermarkets and purchasing and grocery food, our data in the Living Health report by Healthy Life for the last 3 years showed that even for at-home eating, we're not purchasing in line with the dietary guidelines. We're not hitting the targets of any of the core food groups. And whether it be someone's fault or not someone's or whatever the blame, the reality is that we're not doing it. It's hard for us to eat healthy. It's not happening, so we have to change what we're doing, or the health system is not going to keep up, and we're going to have children living a shorter life expectancy than their parents. So we have to make some change if we want the outcome to be different.
All right, thank you for your time. Simone Austin there, Chief Health Officer of Healthy Life. Look, I do agree with Simone on the issue about the health system potentially collapsing. And it's interesting. I mean, there's one thing that health insurance funds can ask you about your lifestyle, and that is, do you smoke or not? They can't really ask you, do you eat healthy foods? How often do you exercise? Do you drink too much? I mean, it's possible that down the track, if people's illnesses or issues that they face are deemed to be sort of self-imposed, like eating too much junk, maybe they'll pay a higher price or a price to access the health system. But we have a system that essentially says, even if you make stupid decisions in your life, we will do our best to help you. 133 mornings at 3aw.com.au. But really it comes down to, and it's funny, we were talking about the philosophy of the Liberal Party, which is sort of self-reliance and individual choice and that sort of thing. But when it comes to food, it's like we want to be a bunch of socialists. No, you can't eat that. At 14 to 10.
Renovate your kitchen today with United Stone Melbourne. We'll give you the finest porcelain benchtop and splashback, as well as change your kitchen doors. Call 9791 3720. United Stone Melbourne.
At Apollo RV Supercentre, adventure is right at your fingertips. Get great deals across new and pre-owned caravans, camper vans and motorhomes available for immediate delivery. That's immediate delivery across an extensive range of leading brands like Winnebago, Windsor, Corrimal, Ampria and Kia. Apollo RV Supercentre, your one-stop shop for caravans, camper vans, motorhomes and more. Visit us at Apollo RV Supercentre, Somerton.
Police are breath testing millions of drivers this year. Whether it's a back road, a main road or a highway, there are officers undertaking drink-drive operations right across Victoria. So just because you can't see the police doesn't mean that they can't see you. If you've been drinking, don't get behind the wheel. Blow over the limit and you'll lose your licence, face heavy penalties and have an alcohol interlock device fitted to your car. Drink driving, chances are you will be caught anywhere, anytime, anyone. This is a message from the TAC.
30 years ago, Fred Hollows set up the Fred Hollows Foundation to make sure his vision of ending avoidable blindness would live on after he was gone. By leaving a gift in your will, you will create your own legacy and help Fred's vision live on. Wouldn't that be amazing?
What did he say? He said you can see quite well. Every eye is an eye.
To learn more, visit hollows.org or call 1-800-352-352.
This is Ben Reid. Even if you're thinking about selling your home this year, you need to get professional advice now. At Ian Reid Vendor Advocates, we understand the market and can help you with every aspect of the sale of your home. From presentation to choosing the right agent and negotiating the highest price, our service won't cost you an extra cent. Call 9430 0000 or visit ianreid.com.au.
Ian Reid Vendor Advocates.
Go on, ring us.
Hey, have you checked out Harvey Norman Factory Outlets? It's the place to go for all your fridge and freezer needs. Whether it's that premium integrated unit for the new kitchen or a larger French door fridge for the family, we've got you covered with new inbox run-out models, carton damage or factory seconds from all the big brands like Samsung, Fisher & Paykel, Hisense, Electrolux and more. 3 big locations, Dandenong, Richmond and Epping. Look for the big green building.
At Energy Educators, we're making it easy for eligible Victorians to claim their split system air conditioner and installation through the Victoria Energy Upgrade Program. Check your eligibility for generous rebates at energyeducators.com.au.
3AW Mornings brought to you by Richie's Supermarkets and Liquor. Show your seniors card for a 5% discount every Thursday at Richie's. See in store for details.
It is 11 to 10 on the Australian flag. Tony says all we need is a kangaroo eating a meat pie sitting atop a Holden. Well, yeah, unfortunately we don't make Holdens anymore and kangaroos are pretty much vegetarians. Thank you, Tony. John says we as the taxpayers, we employ the politicians in the state and federal governments to work on our behalf. When they waste our money, why can't we stop them? Well, it's a good point, but it's a bit like we're the shareholders. And shareholders of the company can vote at a company meeting each year. For example, if the company is paying its top executives too much, shareholders now get a vote on that, and you can stop, excessive pay packets. And for us as shareholders / voters, it's like elections. If collectively enough of us do not like how we are being governed, we can vote them out and give the other mob a chance. Whether now for energy educators, check your eligibility for generous Victorian government rebates on split system aircon. Visit energyeducators.com.au. It's currently 14 degrees. Our forecast top is 18. Rob, good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
Not bad, Rob.
Today's topic is trying to eat healthy and get out of all these diseases and all the rest of it. It's good in saying, we eat healthy and eat nice and fulfilling sort of meals, but some people can't afford it. Some people can only afford to go to 7-Eleven and spend $4.50 on a bite.
Yeah.
The standard of living is way too high. How can you go and eat healthy every day and spend top dollars on food?
Well, Rob, you don't have to buy expensive food. I mean, for example, if you buy some broccoli, a cheap piece of meat, and, I don't know, some brown rice, you can have a pretty healthy meal and it doesn't have to cost a lot. It may not be as, tasty as a hamburger from where, but look, I take your point, but I'm not convinced that healthy food has to be expensive. People think like it does, but it doesn't really. But what you do have to do, you have to go home, you have to chop it up, you have to take the time to cook it yourself, and that's going to be far more time consuming than the 5 minutes or less it will take to get takeaway food. And I think there's the problem, is that people, the time is as important as the money, and that's why fast food is called fast food. Adrian, good morning.
Good morning, Tom. Great topics. Thanks for the call, taking my call. Look, I'm sick of being told by other people who have no business sticking in my business, telling me what to do, what to drive. I don't buy a battery car. I've got 5 cars. They're all either diesel or petrol. I can drive past 16 restaurants. I don't have to stop there. I don't stop there. It's my choice.
Well, that's right. I mean, I don't sit there with a gun saying, Adrian, if you do not go into this drive-through and spend at least $50, you're in trouble, do I?
No, and I wouldn't listen to people like this. They just got an agenda and they try to peddle it.
It's interesting, Adrian, but it is somewhat socialistic. It says, look, individuals can't make good choices, therefore we as the government, state, federal, local, whatever, we will make those choices for you. And I see life a bit differently. I think, you have a range of choices. That's the wonderful thing about our society, whether it's the clothes you wear, the food you eat, how you choose to entertain yourself. You've got a lot of choice, perhaps too much choice, but it's how you exercise that choice. Tony, good morning.
Yeah, hi Tom. Yeah, there's the option of, if you want to just go and buy healthy food and cook it, or if you're into fast food, then I'll give you an example. There's a roadhouse down near Geelong, and they had a McDonald's, they had an Oliver's healthy food, and a chicken shop as well. Yeah, like I think it was a KFC, but anyway, the Oliver's didn't last, so they
Yes. I know the exact roadhouse you mean, Tony. In fact, it's a great favourite of Dennis Walter, our night's presenter. But yes, you're right. And you know what? Some of those Olivers have disappeared from a few of those roadhouses, not just there, because, as you say, people have the Maccas, the KFC, or the Red Rooster, or the Olivers, and they choose one of the first two.
GoPro, stop recording.
الحمد لله الذي خلق السماوات والأرض وجعل الظلمات والنور ثم الذين كفروا بربهم يعدلون هو الذي خلقكم من طين ثم قضى أجلا وأجل مسمى عنده ثم أنتم تمترون وهو الله في السماوات وفي الأرض يعلم سركم وجهركم ويعلم ما تكسبون وما تأتيهم من آية من آيات ربهم إلا كانوا عنها معرضين فقد كذبوا بالحق لما جاءهم فسوف يأتيهم أنباء ما كانوا به يستهزئون ألم يروا كما أهلكنا من قبلهم من قرن مكناهم في الأرض ما لم نمكن لكم وأرسلنا السماء عليهم مدرارا وجعلنا الأنهار تجري من تحتهم فأهلكناهم بذنوبهم وأنشأنا من بعدهم قرننا آخرين ولو نزلنا عليك كتابا في قرطاس فلمسوه بأيديهم لقال الذين كفروا إن هذا إلا سحر مبين وقالوا لولا أنزل عليه ملك ولو أنزلنا ملكا لقضي الأمر ثم لا ينظرون ولو جعلناه ملكا لجعلناه رجلا وللبسنا عليهم ما يلبسون ولقد استهزئ برسل من قبلك فحاق بالذين سخروا منهم ما كانوا به يستهزئون قل سيروا في الأرض ثم انظروا كيف كان عاقبة المكذبين قل لمن ما في السماوات والأرض قل لله كتب على نفسه الرحمة ليجمعنكم إلى يوم القيامة لا ريب فيه الذين خسروا أنفسهم فهم لا يؤمنون وله ما سكن في الليل والنهار وهو السميع العليم فاطر السماوات والأرض وهو يطعم ولا يطعم قل إني أمرت أن أكون أول من أسلم ولا تكونن من المشركين قل إني أخاف إن عصيت ربي عذاب يوم عظيم من يصرف عنه يومئذ فقد رحمه وذلك الفوز المبين وإن يمسسك الله بضر فلا كاشف له إلا هو وإن يمسسك بخير فهو على كل شيء قدير وهو القاهر فوق عباده وهو الحكيم الخبير قل أي شيء أكبر شهادة قل الله شهيد بيني وبينكم وأوحي إلي هذا القرآن لأنذركم به ومن بلغ أئنكم لتشهدون أن مع الله آلهة أخرى قل لا أشهد قل إنما هو إله واحد وإنني بريء مما تشركون الذين آتيناهم الكتاب يعرفونه كما يعرفون أبناءهم الذين خسروا أنفسهم فهم لا يؤمنون ومن أظلم ممن افترى على الله كذبا أو كذب بآياته إنه لا يفلح الظالمون ويوم نحشرهم جميعا ثم نقول للذين أشركوا أين شركاؤكم الذين كنتم تزعمون ثم لم تكن فتنتهم إلا أن قالوا والله ربنا ما كنا مشركين انظر كيف كذبوا على أنفسهم وضل عنهم ما كانوا يفترون ومنهم من يستمع إليك وجعلنا على قلوبهم أكنة أن يفقهوه وفي آذانهم وقرا وإن يروا كل آية لا يؤمنوا بها حتى إذا جاءوك يجادلونك يقول الذين كفروا إن هذا إلا أساطير الأولين.
GoPro, stop recording.